Welcome back, my friends. I'm so thankful you are with me today as we endeavor to get our minds aligned with the truth of God. You know, this is our real work every day, is to get our thinking straight, to get our minds right. We've got to push away the philosophies and approaches that we are taught in this world by gurus of various sorts and by well-meaning mentors and guides and sometimes even parents, and set our mind on the things that Jesus teaches us. And I don't say any of that to be disrespectful of the authorities that God's placed in our lives. I just say it to point out that if we don't have our minds aligned with what God intends, we will mislead others, those under our authority, those who perhaps have been over us in authority have misled us because they didn't understand God's truth. They didn't know the things He has instructed, like we've been looking at in 2 Peter. We're in 2 Peter chapter 3, and Peter has told us that since Jesus is returning and will one day dissolve all of history and all of creation into this new heaven and earth that He's building for us, we're going to get to that in a few days. What sort of life should we be living in light of that truth? You see, when we recognize that there is something bigger and better coming, and that really is the ultimate end toward which all of history is rolling, we can live now in light of that. You see, we can push aside the temporal and the temporary and the things that don't matter in light of what does matter. And Peter says the way we're to do that is to live lives of holiness and godliness. And yesterday I mentioned that we cannot live holy lives, we cannot live godly lives on this planet without the help of the Holy Spirit. You see, that's how Jesus lived the holy life that He lived, was through the power of the Holy Spirit. His mind was set on obedience to the Father and following the guidance of the Holy Spirit. You read the gospel accounts very carefully, and you'll see that the Holy Spirit was very present in Jesus' life. And that He said over and over, especially in the Gospel of John, I only do what I see my Father doing. You see, the Holy Spirit revealed to Jesus day after day after day as He walked this planet as a human being what the Father was doing and what His part in that plan was. And Jesus just stepped into that plan by faith. That's how He was able to heal people. That's how He was able to raise Lazarus from the dead, for example. That's how He was able to be and do the amazing things He was able to be and do. And my friends, the promise has been given to us that that same Jesus, filled with the Holy Spirit, lives within us. And that is how we live lives of holiness and godliness. So let's make this very, very practical. Today, you may have opportunity to respond to a difficult situation. In your own strength, you may feel very powerless and very helpless, like, I don't know what to do. Well, this is where that trite little phrase we've heard, what would Jesus do, can become helpful. We look at it and say, what would Jesus do in this situation? Well, He would respond, at the very least, with love. He would respond in a way that has compassion on the people involved. He would respond with a bigger view than just the temporary discomfort or irritation that may be coming to Him in that situation. And that's helpful to us because that is a picture of the kind of behavior we should be engaged in that moment, because Jesus, filled with the Holy Spirit, is within us. And that's what He wants to do in this situation. So my friends, what we do in those moments is step into that situation and begin acting as if Jesus were doing that through us. Because, my friends, He is doing that through us. You see, it's when we put our faith into action that Jesus' life can be seen through us. We trust Him to do what only He can do. And the result is a life of holiness and godliness that comes out of us. Oh, ponder that today, my friends, and be encouraged. You can live a holy and godly life.